Hello and welcome to FPL Natty. Good morning to you. It is a lovely summer's autumn, a wonderful autumn day here today on Saturday, and I will be telling you about my team selection for game week number 10. So at the moment it's like before the deadline, but by the time I finish this video it'll probably be after the deadline, even though it's a bit later on. Yeah, I was just like lazing about in bed and whatever. But anyways, I have my team sorted. I have made possibly a change. You will see that in a second. But most importantly, up there, make sure you join my mini league. I've said this before, but if you haven't already, just join it. If you're already doing FPL, if you're already in mini league already, just join this one. It doesn't matter. It doesn't cost you anything. I think the link below is an auto join link, so just join it up. It'd be great to see you on there. Also, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel, where have you been? What have you been doing? Please subscribe. As you can see, it's a small community. It's small, so you're gonna get noticed. I'm gonna see you, so please join, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up. If you just give it a thumbs up for the background, like just look at these people. Just give it a thumbs up for the budget constraints that I'm doing on this channel right now. But I'm so glad you've joined, and I'm gonna go through the team that I've chosen for game week number 10. So let's start with my first selection for the week, and it is going to be Danny Ward. I know it's crazy. This is probably the biggest shock of the game week right now, that I've actually chosen the Leicester goalkeeper to be my number one goalkeeper this week. But I feel like I had to give him something purely because of what he did last week against Nottingham Forest, where he got his first clean sheet of the season. So yeah, I thought I'll gift him. You know, this is my personal gift to Danny Ward. If you're watching this, you have made my team because of what you have done last week. But not only that, you have Bournemouth coming up, and I know, like, you know, the Leicester defense is very, very shaky, but Bournemouth are much worse. They've got the worst expected goals tally XG this season. They failed to score in 5 of their last 7 matches. So for me, it makes sense that I thought I'll bring him in and put Raya on the bench, because Raya has Newcastle. So I feel like that is a much trickier fixture for him to get a clean sheet in, with particularly Callum Wilson in good form. But Leicester possibly might be on the up. This might be a turn of favour for them. And Danny Ward himself, he has the favour of Brendan Rodgers, as the, you know, he's got the backing of the manager, so he's not a risk at all. I know there was some conversation between him and Iverson, who was going to be the main goalkeeper option for Leicester, but Ward has kept his place, and I think that he is a great option. And even if he was to be benched at all, I've got Ray on the bench, so it's not even really that much of a problem. But yeah, Danny Ward, welcome to the debut for my game week number 10 as my goalkeeper spot. That is the number 1 position. In number 2, we have Kieran Trippier, £5.5 million defender from Newcastle, and he is playing, who they're playing? He's playing Brentford at home at St James's Park. So I've chosen him because he has produced defensive or attacking returns in 6 of his last 8 games this season, gotten 42 points, 4 clean sheets, 1 assist and 1 goal. These are fantastic stats for someone in his position. He has shown himself to be very, very profitable is the wrong word, but a great FPL asset, basically, particularly when he is injury free, which he is right now, and obviously hopefully he can remain that way till the World Cup as well. And also he's a front runner when it comes to his expected goal involvement. He's created more chances than any other FPL defender. You're talking Trent, Cancelo, James, any of those. He's done better than all of those, averaging 5.2 points per match, and his game is at home, as I said, to Brentford, who I feel they're going to beat, and hopefully they can return a clean sheet against them. It's a gamble I'm taking, obviously, but I think that Newcastle, they are very strong under Eddie Howe, and I feel like he's going to produce me some great returns this game week. I think 6 points. Next to him is Cancelo. He is in pretty much most people's teams for FPL this season, 22-23, selected by over 51% of managers, and he's a nail-on asset for Manchester City as well. He does cost a lot. He's 7.2 million, but I thought, like, it's better to be with him rather than not. And with Diaz, Stones, Nkaji, Ake, Laporte, and Walker, all of these people are minutes risk or they're injured. So it's really hard to know who Pep was going to go with, but he always goes with Cancelo. And who they have next, they've got Southampton at home. And I think he's going to produce returns. He's done it for he's done it for 4 home matches this season. He's got at least 2 double-digit hauls. So I think he can do it against them. We know that his attacking numbers are down this season, but you have to have a City defender in your squad. I think it's imperative the way that they're playing right now, from the back to midfield to the front. You need to have a City defender. And for me, I went with Cancelo. Southampton, they've lost 5 out of their last 8 league matches. So what are they going to do against City? I don't think they're going to do much. They've only scored 8 goals in that time as well. So I don't think they're going to be doing much against City, to be honest. My next player I had to keep in my squad was Rhys James, the £6 million defender for Chelsea. And he is playing Wolves at home. Now, under Graham Potter, he is now back to being a left back. Because we remember under Tuchel, Thomas Tuchel, he was like a centre back, and his minutes were just weird where he was playing. First half would be centre back, second half he might be left back, but no, not left back. What's it he plays? He plays right back, isn't it? Yeah, right back. Sorry, but yeah, I think that under Graham Potter, he's now back to being a right back. He's got his place there cemented. So he offers potential to live all around the pitch, but particularly in the final third. I'm hoping that against Wolves, who are not very good in terms of scoring, they are the Premiership's lowest goal scorers. So I'm definitely hoping for a clean sheet against Wolves. I know that he also, as I said, can produce some really good attacking terms. And we know that he is fighting for his place for the England squad. He's got Trent, Alexander-Arnold very, very hot on his heels at the minute. So the more returns he can do going forward, and obviously clean sheets at the back, Gareth Southgate will pretty much pen his name in as that right back spot. With Walker injured and Trippier and Trent Alexander-Arnold fighting over that place, I think that that Rhys James pretty much is the guy to have in your squad going forwards. And this guy, I had him on my bench last week. It is Mark Gui. I actually don't know how to say his name. I probably should have thought about that before I actually put him in my squad. But anyways, I thought I'll put him in my squad because Crystal Palace has a fantastic run of games, starting with Leeds. This week, they got Leeds at home. And then after that, they've got Leicester, Wolves and Everton. So in that whole time, and from games going forward, they're not playing a top 6 team, and that's like the traditional top 6 team, until game week number 19. So that is a long stint you can have a Crystal Palace player, defender, who is nailed on. He literally plays 90 minutes every single time. He is an enabler in the squad, and he's cheap. He's only like 4.1 million, something like that. And with the manager they have, Patrick Vieira has shown his worth in the Premier League since he has been at the squad. And Crystal Palace, they are such a good attacking threat and can press from the front. With Leeds, we know that they have the ability to leak goals. So with that pressing from the front with Elise and Eduardo and Ayew and obviously Zaha as well, it means there's less pressure on the defense. Okay, so I know that Mark Gui is also trying to push to get into England squad as well. He had a run in the team around March time of this year, so he's going to be looking to make sure he shores up that defense. He, as I said, is not a minutes risk at all, and that is why he's in my squad for this game week. And alongside him is his Crystal Palace teammate, Wilfried Zaha, 7.3 million. I have kept him in my squad from last week. I thought about taking him out possibly for a Foden move, but I think the fixtures they have are so good, it kind of makes sense for me to keep Zaha in my squad. He has 3 goals and 21 points in his last home matches, his last 3 home matches to be precise. So I'm hoping that he comes good against Leeds. They're missing Sinistera. Rodrigo is just coming sort of back to form. Bamford again is just coming back into the team. So I'm hoping Leeds are going to be so shaky. Zaha gets like 3 goals or something, gets a hat-trick. He's also in pens as well, so hopefully he can get a couple penalties. We know he likes to get in people's faces. He's the second most fouled player in the Premier League at the minute. So I'm hoping that he can produce me some returns, because as we know, Leeds have the ability to concede goals, as I said before. 2 clean sheets in their last 6, which is not very, very good form for them. So hopefully Zaha can break the deadlock in that sort of situation. Yes, James Madison is still in my squad, the £8.1 million midfielder from Leicester. 3 goals and 1 assist, which is 25 points in his last 2 game weeks. As we know, we saw what he did last week, 2 goals, 1 assist, which is a season high for him of 18 points, which was amazing for me. As I spoke about in my last video, he literally saved my game week number 9. It was looking terrible until Madison came and literally rescued me from the depths of despair FPL graveyard. But yeah, he is in my squad. He's on fire, and I think some of you are jumping on him now. Over 300,000 transfers have been made going into game week number 10. I had him before, so you lot are just jumping on the bandwagon now. But yeah, Madison's in my squad. He has to be there. And alongside him is Raheem Sterling. Didn't do great last week. I think he only returned 1 point, possibly 2. I can't really remember. But this week, he has Wolves at Stamford Bridge, as I was speaking about with James earlier. And his stats are really, really good at the moment. He's leading the team for shots. He's got 14 of those. And for like just chances in general, he's got 11 of those as well. So you can tell he's in and around the box, playing as kind of like a forward, like left side winger type of vibe, similar place to where he was playing for City, but with Aubameyang in the squad as well and trying to find his feet, hopefully he can either return some assists or some goals in the squad. Okay, he does have 22 points across 3 home matches, and they're at home again. And Wolves, they've only kept 2 clean sheets and conceded 7. So for me, forget the conceded, because they're not really scored. They're just not doing anything, Wolves, at the minute, and that's why they sacked their manager literally like last week. So forget about them. But they've only kept 2 clean sheets. So I reckon with the attacking power that Chelsea have, Sterling, they bought him to make sure that he creates goals and scores goals. He is a high price player, 10.1 million. So I think I'll keep him for this week, see what he does. If he doesn't really do that well against Wolves, I might look to move him on. But for right now, he's in my squad for this game week. Now, we have a new player in my squad. His name is Callum Wilson. I have brought in Callum Wilson for 7.2 million, replacing him with my one transfer for Ivan Toney. Okay, I took Toney out, I brought Wilson in. Okay, I think it's important that that I brought him in. As I said in my previous video of my ones to watch video, he scored 3 goals in his last 4 games and scored in every game he has started this season. That is great form. And now he's only in good form when he's fit. He obviously gets injured quite a lot, but when he is fit, he is a threat. Can he be a captain choice for you guys? Possibly. It's a massive gamble if you want to do that with Haaland sitting there, like just sitting there wanting to collect another hat-trick. Okay, so bear that in mind. But if you want to be different, I suggest you go with Callum Wilson as a potential captain option. He does have Brentford at home. Is that at home? Can't even see it, so small. Yeah, he does have Brentford at home. So I think that could be a really, really, really good option for him. He's got an XG of 1.36. So I'm hoping he scores again, and he scores a lot. Okay, I've got Raya on my bench who he's playing against, so I'm not really too fussed. So he can score as many goals as he wants, because Raya, who's been my #1 goalkeeper, is on my bench right now. So yeah, do your worst, Callum Wilson. Get a hat-trick, take home the match ball. Please, 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 please do it, because his ownership is really low and it can really just boost me up in all my mini leagues, and I can get back on top. Next to him, come on, he's in everyone's squad. I think he's in like 81% of squads this year. Erling Haaland, he has Southampton. He has Southampton at the Etihad. So if you don't have him, though, what's that? That is 19% of people that don't have him. Unless you're top of the whole thing, why don't you have Haaland? It just makes sense to have Haaland. He averages about 15.5 points per home match and scored a hat-trick in 3 successive home matches, and they are home again. Okay, they are home again, and it's to Southampton. So I think it's a no-brainer in terms of having him in your squad. He's got 40 more points, that is FPL points, more than any other player in the game. Okay, so the only caveat for this is Man City's record against Southampton. The last 2 games that they played, it has been a draw. So does that mean you could potentially go with a different captain option? I know a lot of people will be captaining Haaland this week, but is the potential there to go with a different captain because of the record, that the stats record that City have with Southampton? Possibly, but I would suggest no. This is going to be another win for Manchester City, particularly at home. Haaland will score. I am pretty much guaranteeing that Haaland will score. Okay, fine. If he doesn't score, he'll get an assist. That's really what it is. He's going to get returns this game week. So he was always going to be in my squad. I'm not going to take him out at all unless he has like a severe injury. Then that would probably be the only time that he gets removed from my squad. Other than that, yeah, he's staying in. And last but not least, the player I have next to him is, of course, my captain for last week, Harry Kane. Harry Kane, the Spurs captain, and he is away to Brighton. Brighton have been playing very, very well. We saw what they did to Liverpool last week. Even though they ended up being a draw, they showed a very, very strong threat against them. So Tottenham needs to be careful. Conte needs to be careful about how his team is set up. We know that they kind of flopped a little bit this week in the Champions League. So they need to make sure they pick themselves up against Brighton and completely smash them away from home, basically. In terms of Kane's record at the moment, he has scored or assisted in each of his last 7 games. And particularly against Brighton, Kane has 8 goals in 12 appearances. Yeah, so he likes to score against Brighton. The last time he blanked against them, I think, was December 2017. It was a long time ago. So I'm not expecting Kane to blank again this game week. And I'm glad to have him, because not a lot of people do because of his price point. But I think he's such a great player. He plays 90 minutes unless he's injured. He always brings returns. As I said, he's scored or assisted in his last 7 games. And I don't see that happening. I don't see that stop happening this game week, because he'd like to score against Brighton. So it's kind of a no-brainer to have him in my squad this week. And that completes my team, a 4-3-3 formation. And on my bench, let's talk about my bench real briefly. I've got Raya, as I said. He's got Newcastle, so if Ward isn't going to play at all, he will come in. My first player is Nico Williams, who has Villa. I thought about putting him in my squad, but I don't know. Can they produce returns against Villa? Possibly. Are Forest a good team? Not really. So it's kind of a bit like, what am I bringing Nico in for? Is he going to produce an assist? Not particularly. But can he get a clean sheet? Most likely. So he's in my first position. The next to him is Andreas Pereira, who has West Ham. West Ham, I look to have turned a corner. Fulham are going to be missing Mitrovic most likely. So second position. And obviously I've got Bailey on the end, who has Forest. Currently he's showing up with a yellow flag. I don't know why I brought this guy back, to be honest. So yeah, he's on my bench on the far side, not looking to play him anytime soon, but he would just stay on my bench and probably just rot for now. And my captain options are, as always, it was always going to be Erling Haaland. He is going to be my captain. It just makes sense. I want him to capitalize on this Southampton game and just show us what he's been doing and collect another hat-trick. I seriously want him to collect another hat-trick. I think that's just going to be the norm, and he can just break records. I think it's about time Alan Shearer's goal scoring record gets completely wiped. So I really want Haaland to do it, because it would just be great for the Premier League to have a new change and a new person at the helm and keep Shearer quiet. And my vice captain is going to be Harry Kane. Yeah, so if Haaland doesn't play, if he gets dropped from the squad, which is never going to happen, then Harry Kane will be my vice captain, collecting those double points. And that is my team for game week number 10. So there it is. That is my team for game week number 10. Yeah, I hope you like this old school kind of thing that I'm doing with the wired headphones. Like, no, who does that? But yeah, I was just doing something last minute. So yeah, we've gone to old school. Should I keep this? Should I keep this style going forward? Probably not. Nah, let's not do that. So yeah, that is my team for game week number 10. 4-3-3. My captain is Haaland v Southampton, of course. Bringing in Callum Wilson for Ivan Toney. It kind of makes sense going forward. Wilson is a better striker than Toney is. Even though Toney is an all-around decent player and affects a lot of area of the pitch, I kind of wanted a striker who I know can bang goals and Callum Wilson is definitely one of those. So what do you think of my team? Have I missed a trick here? Maybe I should have brought Foden in for this game week in particular to capitalize on the fact that he was rested midweek. Does that mean he's going to produce returns this week? Most likely. But I thought I didn't want to take a hit. I'm kind of on a decent roll right now, and I know there is a blank coming up for City as well. So what do you think of my team? I think I said this like 3 times now. What's your team? Put it below in the comments below. A reminder to you to join this mini league. Join it before the deadline if this video comes out before the deadline. Join it after the deadline if the video comes out after the deadline. It doesn't make a difference. Just join my mini league. And if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'm FPL Natty, and I will see you guys in the next video.